Alright, so one of the first things that we're going to do for this beautiful taco stuffed avocado, you can use a pan or a skillet, but I like to use a little pot. I don't know why I'm weird like that. You can hear it sizzling right now. So you want to have the heat probably about medium or high, somewhere in there. And we're actually going to do the ground beef first. So we want to do 1 tablespoon of avocado oil. If you want to do a little more, you can. It's avocado oil that we're using here. Trusty little tablespoon right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so we're gonna let that simmer a bit. Just move your pan around, or pot if you're using a pot too. The bottom of the pan is covered with oil. So this does call for some ground beef. You can also go with a vegetarian option if you wanted to. But in this case, also from Whole Foods, we actually got some ground beef here. Got a pound, but we're probably only gonna use about half of it. Right? So this one is 90% lean, 10% fat. That's what they had, so that's what we grabbed. There's our fresh ground beef. Can't wait to burn it now, but again, we're only gonna do about half. And that should be good. Rewrap this real quick. Save the rest of this later. Alright, so we're gonna wanna get in there. As you can see right now, it's not really broken up, so we want to break this up. As you can see right here, I mean, we're doing an okay job, right? Oop, there we go. You can see it's starting to cook up, but we want to make sure that you don't see any pink or red. We want to make sure things cook really thoroughly. So we're going to do this probably for 5 minutes or so. Also, I'm going to include the book where I got the recipe from. And that book is the Wholesome Yum Easy Keto Cookbook by, I'm not sure if it's Mia Cramp or Maya. It's probably Maya Cramp, but yeah, good book. Alright, so next step, we have the ground beef cooked. That's step 1. Alright, step 2. I don't know why I'm talking like that, like a radio announcer. Taco seasoning that we're using here. Alright, this is 365 Whole Foods Market organic taco seasoning. I'm only using half of this. That's about right. So, alright, so we have that situated. We need to add water. 1/4 cup water. So what do we got here? 1/4. Just a little water. There we go. 1/4 cup water. By the way, these come in really handy. I'll have these listed below as well. Alright, so we're gonna mix this. We're gonna stir it. We'll let that simmer. Alright, so the next thing that we can do while we're waiting for our taco seasoning to saute. Okay, we'll turn it down. Probably medium low. Alright, so I've actually went ahead and halved the avocados already. But yeah, the next step would basically be to do so. So you're gonna go ahead and cut your avocados in half. We're gonna take these out, so you're left with this. And right now what I'm gonna do is I have 2 avocados, so but 4 halves, right? We're gonna go ahead and scoop all of the avocado out, and we're gonna put it into a separate bowl so we can make essentially the insides, and we're using the shells, right? All right, so you're gonna want a spoon, right? And again, we're basically gonna scoop out, right, the insides of the avocado, and we're gonna put it into a separate bowl, which we're gonna do right here in this bowl. All right, so just want to take all the avocado out, or as much of it as you can. Just be careful to preserve the shell. And stay tuned later this week. We are going to have an Instapot cheesy burger recipe. If you like cheeseburgers, you're going to want to check that out. Our 4 shells now. Alright, so we have our 4 shells now. This is real soft. It's really good. Alright, so we want to do how much? Teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of the sea salt. All right, so we're gonna add that. It doesn't really matter how you add it, but a teaspoon of black pepper. All right, so black pepper. In this scenario, I have one of those kind of you do this, so I'm gonna have to guesstimate. There's a few extra ingredients I'm gonna add that are not part of this recipe. One is gonna be this. So this is from Frontier Co-op, sweet basil leaf. All right, so we're gonna add some of that. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit, nothing crazy. And then we're also gonna add some of this turmeric. This one's from Trader Joe's. Very mild amount. Now we gotta mash this. I cannot forget the lime juice. I'm getting like way ahead of myself. Alright, so we're actually using real limes, right? Instead of lime juice. So we're gonna go ahead and squeeze this in here. Ooh. Alright, so the tomatoes, we have tomatoes that we diced up. You don't have to do tomatoes. Probably gonna just do that. I'm not gonna use all of these, but why not? Might as well. All right, and then the onions I actually did not finish cutting up. Let's finish doing that. Use my little paring knife here to cut this up. It's quite funny. We're gonna leave it at that. That should be good to go. So this is what you should have in here right now. Right, you can see all the fresh goodness. All right, so we're gonna actually use a masher, like a potato masher, and we're gonna go ahead and just mash this. This is gonna be the easiest, and then we're gonna mix it with a spoon. So just doing the initial mashing with this, to me, just makes the most sense. You could do it with a spoon, but if you're like me, you want to have it as good as possible, also less stressful, the least amount of stress, right? And now it just kind of looks like we've made like a guacamole or like, you know, dip, essentially, right? Like this. Here, let's get a close up and zoom in. Yeah, it should look something like this, right? I'm trying to heat up a little bit on here because I'm actually gonna throw the cheese in here with it. The recipe doesn't call for us to actually have the cheese with the meat mix, but in my opinion, the more cheese the better, right? So we're gonna be adding some of this cheese, and we're using this right here, mild cheddar and Monterey Jack. Hey Toto, what are you sniffing? What are you sniffing, doggy? All right, so we're gonna just add some cheese in here with the purpose of it to melt. We will sprinkle some cheese afterwards on top as well, but I like to get things all melted up. In the meantime, hang on tight. I'm gonna actually clear up this mess here, so that way we can have a more closer presentation of when we actually put everything together. All right, so be right back. We got our 4 shells, right? We're gonna be filling up. We have our avocado mixture, right, that we just made. And probably pull it back just a little bit. So now we're just gonna fill these up, right? You do, I'll set this down, take one out at a time. Actually, stuff, but I'm not gonna overstuff because we still need to add the meat. So I'm gonna add it little by little. I'm gonna try to like balance it out between the 4. Yeah, actually, try not to fill it all the way. We just need to be able to have the meat. And I overfilled some of these a little bit. We're gonna now add the meat. Alright. And I really do appreciate those that are actually watching this all the way through. This is my first time doing a keto cooking video. I've never done it ever in my life, but keto has been in my life since I've been able to lose weight in a healthy manner and still eat really good food. So we're gonna do that. Again, we have melted cheese already in the and these. I'm gonna add some cheese. Again, there's already cheese in there, but we're gonna sprinkle a little more cheese. Alright, I'm just gonna crazy with it. You can add more cheese if you want, but pretty moderate. Got a little garnish, and then of course your fresh cut parsley, which I didn't cut this enough, but that's okay. You'll probably do the same thing, but it's okay. We love a parsley, so we're just gonna add that too. Tear it up as you go. All right. And there, my friends, you have your taco stuffed avocado. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's get a close up of this, and then we'll eat.